There were almost always talks of a COVID second wave in India, but as is with most extremities, we choose to ignore the prospects of these and continue to hope for the best. Unfortunately, the second wave has taken a huge toll on us, individually and jointly as a country. This catastrophe has been a reminder to value life and safeguard our loved ones. We have reiterated enough that safeguarding your finances is equally important. So, in this video, three financial experts discuss with us the urgent steps to take, the paperwork or documents to keep in handy, and how, in general, to ensure financial preparedness.
The main steps that you should think about, or the to do's in a way, are first, follow the old-fashioned way of writing down all your policy numbers and renewal dates and premium on a simple piece of paper. Keep this with your files if you maintain files, and let everybody in the family know where this paper is lying. That's the first thing. The second thing which you should do, if you're familiar with technology, if you keep your documents in Dropbox or in the Google Drive, that's an excellent thing to do. Keep it over there and share those drives with a family member so that they can access it at any time if they need to do that. Third thing is, always make your payments through the banking channel, either through the bank and NEFT or through your credit card, because those are always much easier to track in the future. The fourth to-do or thing which you can do is buy your insurances through one intermediary, say an insurance broker. And what brokers do, what we do, for example, is that we give an app, and every single insurance purchase which is made, all the documentation for that is available in the app. So it's all in one place.
Additionally, be sure to inform and intimate your insurer about the death of the family member, especially the policyholder, because some insurers have a set time frame for carrying out the consequent formalities. Mr. Raghavendra Nath, Managing Director, Ladderup Wealth Management, warns us of the types of emergencies that could arise and steps to tackle and deal with each.
In case of medical emergency, there are two important things. One, you may have a medical insurance policy, and so your family needs to have access to that insurance policy at all times. My suggestion is to people is that, because all of us carry smartphones, taking a picture of that medical insurance policy and the cashless cards that you may have received from that such insurer in your mobile phone, as well as the mobile phone of all your family members, is a good thing. So you can create an album where you can keep these important documents related to your medical insurance, so that anytime there is a need, you don't have to hunt around in files and figure out where that policy is. You can just access that album and access that insurance policy and its number and the value and all those things. The second thing that you may need in medical insurance, medical emergency, is financial help. So obviously, at the first stage, you may have your ATM card, or which you or your wife can share. So you can have the same bank where both of you are carrying the same ATM card. But besides that, having some money in a liquid form, either in a savings account or in a short-term fixed deposit, or let's say a liquid fund of a mutual fund, is a advisable thing, so that you can access that money at a moment's notice whenever such emergency happens.
What happens to a deceased person's motor insurance policy? To be prepared, one should transfer the ownership, registration certificate, and insurance policy in the name of the legal heir. Untimely death of a family member can be emotionally and financially traumatic. Keep these points in mind.
And that results in so many issues in terms of, because any asset which were held by the family member needs to be passed on to the legal heirs. So one very important thing that people need to do is to have a will done. If you have not made a will, please make it immediately, because that is a very important document, and that will facilitate the transition process from you to your family members in an amazing manner. And without a will, actually can result into a lot of complications. Not that your family will not be able to take over the wealth that you have left behind. The only thing is that the process can get much more complex, time consuming and costly. But besides the will, you should also make sure that each investment that you should have a nomination in place, because that facilitates the transition. And also make sure that the nominations that you have put are in congruence with the will that you have made. so that there is lesser chances of any kind of misunderstanding or dispute when you are not there.
Which brings us to the topic of heirs and nominees. Collecting the financial details, documents of not just the ailing or deceased, but even the ID proofs of yourself and other family members who are nominees or legal heirs is highly recommended. In context of the current crisis, it would make sense to store soft copies of the same. Raghavendranath concurs.
The third kind of emergency which happens is a legal emergency, and which could be, getting embroiled in a quarrel, or let's say loss of some key identity papers, or some other kind of trouble. So and in most of the situations, the first thing that you have to do is establish your own identity. So having your Aadhaar card, having your voter's ID, having your PAN card, your passport in a single place, and not only your own, your entire family's, these details should be there in a folder or in an album called identity cards. And this folder could be ubiquitous. It can be in all the family members.
Pravleen Bajpai, founder, FinFix, highlights the distinction between nominee and heir.
A nominee is a custodian, while a legal heir, by the virtue of your will or through a succession certificate issued by the court, is the final beneficiary. This holds true across all instruments barring a demat account. Hence, you must be very careful while making somebody a nominee in your demat account.
She strongly believes that a robust investment portfolio demands that all details are correctly fed in it and completed. She offers 5 quick tips for financial preparedness.
Ensure that a nominee is added across all your financial documents, be it your bank account, your insurance policies, or your investments. Ensure that the correct email and mobile is added to all the relevant documents. This not only facilitates a number of financial transactions, but is very helpful in certain non-financial transactions as well, such as updation of nominee in certain cases, as well as updating your bank details. Certain financial instruments allow more than one bank to be added. However, for redemption purposes or for getting your money back, one bank account is usually set up as the primary or the default bank. Ensure that the primary or the default bank is the one which is still in operation. If not, you must update the bank account in your financial instruments. You must ensure that the spellings and the use of middle name is the same across all your documents, such as your PAN, Aadhaar, passport. The most important one is that your loved ones, especially your spouse or your parents, as the case may be, have all the relevant information as far as your overall financial portfolio, your assets as well as your liabilities are concerned. You can write down and make a list of all the financial assets that you hold as well as the liabilities on you and keep them at a safe place. You can alternatively send your spouse a quarterly email with all the relevant information, passwords, the names of the agents or the brokerage firms where you're holding your investments.
In case of a financial emergency or crucial need for funds, our expert suggests this.
Out of your total wealth, 30-40% should always be in liquid form, whether you are foreseeing any emergency or not. And that liquid form could be either in the form of mutual funds, it could be in the form of liquid investments in equity shares, it could be in the form of fixed deposits. And one should avoid making too much investments into things like real estate, which is illiquid inherently, or locked in products where you cannot exit at a moment's notice, or illiquid bonds which may look very attractive on the yield but very difficult to find a buyer in case of a financial emergency.
Remember that it will save your family unnecessary agony in case of your sudden death if you store such data in one place and share its access with the spouse or adult children. For more on financial and estate planning, stay tuned with us and stay safe.